Hey, welcome to CS Connect. My name's Mike.
And I'm Nick Gratzel.
And today we have Nick in the room. And Nick is an educator, he's a teacher. Today we're gonna be talking about how to play teacher and parent in the middle of a quarantine. Hey, thanks for tuning in to CS Connect today. We have Nick here, he's a teacher. Nick, you've been teaching for how long?
About 13 years.
13 years educating kids. We're gonna hear more about that in just a second. I do wanna make a quick plug and tell you parents, if you're watching this, we have daily content coming to you right now. We wanna share that with you. We have content for kids and for youth as well. So if you text CS Space Connect to 39970, we're sending out a morning text at 8 a.m. with new content for all three age groups, adults, kids, and students. We'd love to share that with you. Today specifically, we thought, hey, what if we grab someone who's been teaching a long time, and we talked about the fact that so many parents are now having to be mom and dad and teacher at home. It's kind of crazy.
It is pretty wild. Yeah.
I had a friend of mine. She
Not
said,
by choice either.
Yeah, right. Hey, all of a sudden you're
Yes,
teaching. You know,
yes.
You ever think about homeschooling? No. Well, you do now. You're
Yeah,
homeschooling.
exactly.
I had a friend. She actually works here at the church, and she sent me an email. She got 120 pages of homework from her school, saying, hey, get all this done with your kid in the next X number of days, basically. So They just sent like paper. You know, I'm not bashing the school district here. I'm saying, I think some parents, their heads are spinning right now.
Yeah.
Right? They're like all of a sudden having to teach. So I guess first, Nick, tell us about like yourself, your background, your experience, how long you've been doing this, all that kind of stuff.
I've been teaching high school for 13 years. That's primarily what I've been at. I spent 1 year in middle school, but I teach basically all the arts. I've taught drawing, painting, ceramics, film, graphic design, photography. Right now I teach graphic design and photography at Red Mountain High School at Mesa Public Schools.
Cool.
Not too far from here. So
the most important question we're going to ask Nick all day long, okay? This is like question number one in the interview. Share with us the worst kid you ever had in your classroom and why.
Richard.
Richard. Share with us. It's Richard. I know him. I remember. Share with us like a crazy story, and then definitely do use like the parents' like first and last real names. I mean, why not, right?
Okay. I was walking through my class and I walked by a student and I looked down and I'm like, are you in your underwear? And he's like, what? I'm like, are you in your underwear? What are you doing? He's like, well, I have to change for soccer practice. I'm like, put your pants on.
This is high school.
He had slid his chair under the desk, or under, like I have tables in my classroom. So he'd slid himself under and he was like changing into his soccer uniform. I'm like, put your pants on, man. This is
Okay, well that's really bizarre. I can't top that story. So, in an environment like a classroom, 120 to 180 kids a day. That's so many teenagers. Like I can't even imagine. It's your room. It's your class, it's your boundaries. Like you're the guy who can hand out the detentions if there's too many tardies. So you can like control structure, you have that. What advice do you have for moms and dads who are trying to figure out like how structured or not structured to be right now? Like education's moving online, more and more kids are gonna have things to hit online, but also like they have to do this homework and they have to do this self-guided stuff. And I think parents are wondering like, how do I lead that? What advice do you have there?
I guess the teacher mindset in me really goes to something practical. Is like breaking up the day evenly. So put them in an environment that's distraction free a little bit. So maybe having them sit at the kitchen table or the dining room table and work there, so they don't have the TV or anything around. And I would always break it up. I think we don't give the kids enough time to kind of play a little bit or relax or take a break from school, especially at high school. It's 6 hours straight. Maybe they get a lunch break in there, but they're going like pedal to the metal all day. So if you can maybe do 75 minutes of like instruction with them, let them sit at the computer, watch the video tutorial or interact with the teacher, do some instruction, do some practice, and then give them a break. Have them go and do something different for like 20, 30 minutes. Not just play on their phone or just sit. One of the things I've learned is movement is really good for brain. So work a little bit, take a little bit of break, work a little bit, go walk the dog or something like that. So then they have that little time to relax a little bit, let it process, or just get away from it for a little bit. So that would be a practical thing I can say.
That's really good. It's really good advice. What about, that's helpful on the structure side. What about like, do parents get up and like homework in PJs all day or get dressed for the day?
Wow. I don't know. It's been kind of nice for me to be sitting in my pajamas. It's kind
of weird,
teaching
like
a
snow
little bit,
days, yeah.
online. It really depends on the kid. I mean, if the kid likes to get up, if it helps them to get up and shower and stay in that routine that they're used to in school and get ready for the day, then keep them going with it. If you've got one kid that loves that and another kid that's like super lazy, it takes them forever to get out of bed, then maybe give them a little bit more time and let them sit in their pajamas. That's kind of the nice thing as a parent. You can have a little bit of flexibility. You can really tailor it to each kid. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Every day you get up 5 days a week, however many days a year you go and teach. What is it how do you refuel? How do you fill yourself up? How do you, show up every day being able to pour into 120 to 180 kids? What is the thing that just keeps you refreshed there?
Yeah, making sure I read my Bible in the morning. So I try to, even if it's 15 minutes, like read it and then journal it. I think the most important for me anyways is I have to write it down. Because if I just read it, move on, I'll forget it. But if when I journal it, it allows me to process what I just read and what God's kind of speaking in my heart, and then what my prayer might be for myself that day of like, what do I need to focus on?
That's good.
What did I learn from this, and what's that one thing I can take away and do that.
Cool. Nick, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being a part of this and sharing this wisdom. You've given us some really cool things to think about. First, connecting with our kids and just seeing them as individuals. The concept of routine and breaking it up and go and shooting some hoops, which I don't do, as you could probably physically tell. But thank you for sharing this. Thank you for what you do.
Problem. Thanks for having me.
Moms, dads, we're praying for you. We're rooting for you. We know this is a weird time and you're navigating so many things in your life. And so we hope today's been an encouragement and it helped to you. We want to ask you, would you take a moment and would you share this video on the Facebook or the Instagram? Throw it out there so others can be a part of the conversation we're having here at Cornerstone Connect. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tomorrow.